Magandang hapon, maray na hapon sa gabos. Good afternoon to everyone. Sister Jesie po. Shout out sa sakuyang mga classmate, batch 86 na mga social worker, lalong-lalo na po si Minnie Velasco Bascunia at ang sa iyang ina na nagse-celebrate niya ng kanyang 60th birthday sa kanyang mama. So, ngunyan po, Friday, May 16, 2025, 2 days from now, we shall be entering the 5th week of Easter. Last Sunday, we celebrated Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day sa lahat ng mga nanay. Salamat sa Diyos at naging mapayapa ang ating halalan noong Lunes. Shout out po sa mga kapwa PPCRV namin na nanilbihan sa bayan na walang kapalit na salapi. Pero salamat sa pagkain at tubig na supply po sa amin. Congratulations sa lahat ng mga nanalong kandidato. Sana po aksyon agad na po. That's the best way to say thank you sa lahat na nagtiwala at sumuporta sa inyo. But this time, manilbihan hindi lamang sa mga bumoto sa inyo, pero sa taong bayan na inyong sinasakupan. Kahit anong kulay pa yan at ating lahat magtulungan. Suportahan natin ang mga bagong halal at gawin natin ang ating parte bilang mga mamamayan ng ating inang bayan. Wag lahat iasa sa mga namumuno. Last Friday, Philippine time, Habemus Papam. Pasalamatan natin ang banal na espiritu na gumabay sa lahat ng mga kardinal. Habemus Papam sa katauhan ni Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost ng Estados Unidos na isa ding religyoso katulad ni Pope Francis na isang Jesuita. Si Pope Leo XIV naman ay kabilang sa Order of St. Augustine. Ang kanyang napiling motto ay "In the One, We Are One." Inspired by St. Augustine's writings that express the idea that Christians, though many, we are united in Jesus Christ. So let us continue to pray for Pope Leo XIV in his mission of shepherding. So last Friday, episode 36, ay pinamagatang Bayan Ko, Mahal Ko, Aksyon. Ngayong hapon, episode 37, ay pinamagatang Sentire cum Ecclesia, the Handmaids and the Popes. Meron tayong dalawang panauhin na makakasama natin ngayon. Sobrang excited na kami na ipakilala sila sa inyo. Pero bago ang lahat, pabatiin muna natin ang aking mga co-host.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sister Martha. I'm very happy to see you again. We thank God for we have new Pope now. So a shout out to all the ACI sisters in Vietnam. And shout out to Ate Aurin, Ate Chris, and those who are watching and listening our program this afternoon po.
Happy Easter sa Satuya Gabos. Sa Giraray Sister Nette po, magandang hapon, maray na hapon, maayong hapon sa tanan. Belated birthday greetings kay Lola Loretta on her 100th birthday yesterday. And then si Sister Aurea po, may she rest in peace. It could have been her 95th birthday po. Shout out sa lahat ng mga Pilipino na bumoto at nanilbihan sa halalan. Shout out sa lahat ng PPCRV, lalo na po kina Benedict, Larry, Renz at Charlotte. Shout out kay Hannah, kay Doktora Aynera ng Bicol College, kay Sir Angelo ng Tanshuling College, at sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa Usapang Bokasyon ni ACI, labi na sa ako ang Papa. By the way, pang 8th day na po ngayon ng Novena Mass in honor of Saint Raphael Mary, Patroness of Healing and Reconciliation. Pray for us. Fiesta niya po sa May 18, may misa po ng 9 a.m. So sana po makadalo kayo. Sino at ano ang relasyon mo sa inang simbahan? Bilang miyembro ng isang malaking pamilya in the one body of Christ, masasabi mo ba na kaisa ka sa pulso ng simbahan? Sentire cum Ecclesia. Simply put, it means to think and feel with the church. In Latin, sentire means to feel, to perceive, to think, to sense, But in this context, it means more than that. It means to be in deep harmony, in unity, to be attuned, involving our whole mind, our whole heart, everything about us. Cum Ecclesia, with the church, in her teaching, in her mission, loving what she loves, seeing, discerning the way she does, making her battles and concerns our own, bali sa lahat po. This is something very Ignatian, and we as handmaids of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, we are Ignatian too. In this episode, we listen to the sharing of our guests, who are both handmaids, of how this unity comes alive in their experiences. Samahan niyo po kami.
Okay. At ito na nga ang ating mga panauhin sa hapong ito. Welcome po and introduce yourself at mag-shout out na rin. Sister Julie and Sister AMAVEL.
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, magandang hapon po sa lahat. And yeah, it's true, no? We are still celebrating the Easter season. So happy Easter po sa lahat. Ako po ulit si Sister AMAVEL. I'm currently assigned here in our Novitiate Formation House in Tandang Sora, Quezon City. And shout out po sa lahat ng mga nakikinig, sa lahat ng mga viewers, and sa lahat ng mga ACI family, lay collaborators in different communities, and I'm sure busy na rin po kayo ngayon sa pag-prepare for our feast, and salamat po sa presence nyo helping us sisters to prepare for this occasion. And also to ORTINERO family po, especially sa mga kapatid ko po outside the country, Father Austin, Angela, Annie, and the rest of my siblings. And advance happy birthday po kay Papa, and he will be celebrating her 69th birthday on Sunday, on May 18th, Feast of St. Rafaela. So,
Happy birthday po! 69th birthday. Papa Armand, no? Armand Ortinero. Yan. Sister Julie, are you here?
Yes. Hello.
Hello?
Yourself.
Where's your
Cannot
video?
see you.
Kindly open your video. Your camera pala.
I am trying to open. I cannot.
Aha.
Cannot.
Yeah, please. It's saying that please ask the Zoom workplace to access your camera from device settings. I cannot open. I don't know what's.
Your
Hello. Yeah. Sorry.
In the meantime, maybe you can still introduce yourself even without your camera on.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone. And
afternoon.
also happy Easter. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be part of you all. And so we are really happy to have a new Pope. And yeah, I am Sister Julie Anthony from India. And the last 12 years I had been working in East Timor, Timor-Leste,
Mm-hmm.
especially working with the youth.
Sister Julie, was there a time that you came to the Philippines?
yeah.
2013.
2013. You were studying at ICLA?
No, I had come to Philippines for some time to learn Spanish. Just few
Had to
months.
learn Spanish because you're so
Many years
familiar.
ago.
I said, 2013, I was in Tandang Sora then. Yeah, I think we knew each other before.
But I came to Timor in 2013, but I came to Philippines in 2001.
2001, you came to the Philippines and then came back again in 2013?
Yes. Then that time I went from India to Philippines, went back to India. Then after that I went for my tertianship.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's good to reconnect again, Sister Julie. Yeah, welcome Sister Julie and Sister AMAVEL to our program. Yes.
Okay, Sisters AMAVEL and Julie, kindly share with us briefly your vocation story po. Thank you. Maybe Sister AMAVEL.
Okay po. So briefly, okay, so for this year po, I will be celebrating my 18 years in religious life, so still very young. And I got to know the congregation through a friend, and it was actually Sister Nette who was then the vocation promoter and then the postulant formator. And ito po yung, the ACI actually is the last congregation I met. Kasi all throughout my college years, I was really seriously praying for my vocation, and I always remember like staying in the chapel for the same prayer request, just to help me out in my discernment. And it was given to me after graduation, and I was able to work also as a teacher, although I'm not an education graduate, and very fast po. So basically 6 months getting to know the congregation, and it was easy for me to give my yes kasi nung binabalikan ko po yung vocation story ko, all those things that I was experiencing for the past 4 years in the college, nakita ko po yun doon sa ACI community during those 6 months na pagbisit ko sa kanila. And number one there is the adoration talaga. It's really the Blessed Sacrament. It gave me so much peace na nung pagpasok ko po dun sa chapel, sabi ko, this is it. Sa dami-daming congregation, hindi naman pa ako nag-window shopping, pero there was really no commitment, pero it was really a serious discernment. I tried to see where God is really calling me, even to entertain married life and single blessedness. So at the end of all this serious discernment process, I end up going back to my first love, and it was confirmed by the Lord. So after 6 months, in 2007, I entered the congregation, and the rest is history. Napakaganda pong balikan, and I think hindi po enough yung time to share. But to summarize, it's really God's gift for me, and it was being taken care of, especially unang-una sa family. So parang ganun po yung naging vocation story ko. So for now that I am already a professor for 7 years, 8 years, no change po. I'm still hopeful, I'm still joyful, and the same, not exactly the same AMAVEL, but very joyful living my life as a ACI in particular. So.
So it seems you were called at a young age, and then you were very much aware already of your vocation, but you had parang double major ka. You were bio graduate, BS bio graduate, and then at the same time let passer. So you just took methods, and then naging teacher, and then of course you're a family of priests and religious, no? That's another thing also. Pangatlo ka, 2 priests and then ikaw. And then to just pay tribute to your father, malaki ang role ng papa mo sa bokasyon mo. Hirap na hirap yung mga vocation promoter lumapit sa papa mo, di ba? But at the end sa ACI, yun, may Holy Spirit.
There were several congregations po, visited my family and even talked to my father, but really my father was so, so, parang kailangan pumasa muna sa test, ganun ba yung sister? No, but it was really, I think more than anything else, because of the love that she has for me. So maybe he was really like, maybe at that time my father has this mentality of once I entered, hindi na makita, and less communication and everything. And basically I was the first one to, in case I would say yes, ako yung unang lalabas sa family, among the women, among the girls. So yun yung naging proseso din ni Papa, but now very proud and number one supporter already. Along with my mother, of course, Mama.
Yeah, mother and father, birthday kasi ni Papa mo, kaya in-accentuate ko yung role ng Papa mo. Pero it's true talaga, it was your mother who first entertained me, and then your father came along. Yun. So happy birthday po uli, Papa Armand Ortinero and Mama Evelyn. Hello po. Sister Julie, how are you there with your camera?
Still cannot be open. So Julie.
No, it's okay. We can. She's gonna catch up later, so maybe we can just proceed. Yeah, it's me pala. Sisters, when did you start having this felt awareness of the existence of a Pope and his mission in the church? I purposely put there felt awareness kasi yung iba yung alam mo na yun, felt knowledge, di ba? Ignition, ano yan, parlot. So, felt awareness po of that there's this existence of a Pope.
Po si Sir?
Opo, kasi wala pa si Sister Julie.
Okay. I think in terms of felt awareness, I think I was 11 years old. I was in grade 5, and it was a time when the Philippines for the first time hosted the World Youth Day, the first among the Asian countries to host the World Youth Day, and recorded as nasa world record po tayo, di ba? The most participated mass in a single religious event, up to 5 million ba yun? So, I was only grade 5, so hindi pa ako participant, but I was one of those little children being practiced to do the animation of the world of His love. So, so parang part ng pag-practice po namin ng theme song, ng action song, there's always this catechesis. So, parang yun po yung unang there's this Pope, and eto yung gathering ng mga youth. And I remember exactly one time, naglilinis pa ata ako ng bahay, and then I suddenly paused just to say an honest prayer, parang prayer ng isang bata, na sana ako din one day I may be able to attend occasions like this, World Youth Day, even siguro meet a Pope one day. So, yun po yung pinaka-first awareness. Pero exposure po siguro, I would probably say, as school age, from kinder. Kasi I was in St. Paul then, so parang, of course, as a Catholic school, na parang yung, other than my family, of course, the family is always given sa mga, in terms of faith formation, una yung family. And then sa school age, when I was in St. Paul, very strong yung sense of church, yung sense of community. Kasi talaga inaalagaan yung faith formation namin ng mga bata. So, pero yung felt awareness, yun po, nung I was in grade 5 already, I was already nalipat pa ako sa central school, pero yung advantage is naging active po kami sa parish. So, yun po yung parang felt awareness ko din. And growing up also having millennial Pope John Paul II. So, talaga ang daming memories na nababalikan growing up, having Pope John Paul II as our Pope during sa batch namin sa millennial group. So, counting to 21 years. So, yun po yung parang nakita ko din yung pag-grow ko din in a way as a member of a church, in different ways po.
So, it was with Saint JP2. Yeah. Magkaiba tayo ng generation, pero siya din yung aking first. I was also, kasi second year college na ako. The first time he visited the Philippines. So yun, yung sense of awe, kasi my parents were so excited na kailangan gumising kami ng maaga, and we were so disciplined there, and then excited na, may dadating na. And then, hindi pala siya, ang unang dumating ay si FL, First Lady, kaway-kaway dyan. And then, finally, the Pope came. And then, the second was, that was the time, Sister Jesie and I together.
1995?
Yeah.
When we were novice in Luneta, di ba? We gathered there overnight just to be with the Pope. Yeah, it's really a beautiful experience of, as a church, with the presence of the Pope. Very touching experience yun, 1995. And then we were able to witness, because we were able to see the Pope when she was so weak and dying in 2005. We were there when he died, and that's why it was a great opportunity for us to witness the death also and the change of the Pope, si Pope Benedict. Kaya yung sunod-sunod na Pope na experience ko, na witness ba when we were in Rome. So
then we witnessed also the funeral, and then people were chanting Santo Subito, and true enough, he became a saint.
Yeah.
So he's one of my favorite saints. How about Sister Martha?
2005, no? I heard about Pope JB2, but does his impact on me, the love of Mama Mary, no?
Yeah.
When I heard about his name, I said, this was very holy, no? And even he was in the danger, Mama Mary protects him, no? So for me, I don't have any personal
He did not visit
yeah.
Vietnam.
No, sister. Even none of them. Yeah, I know because
Maybe Pope Leo. That will be your wish.
Yeah,
and
hope,
prayer.
yes, yeah, we will pray. Yes, we will pray that
Yeah.
more. That's we are open now, so
Yeah.
we'll pray and hope that the Pope will visit Vietnam one day.
The totus tuus, it's really complete entrusting himself to the Blessed Mother. Yeah. We're going far already. We're waiting for Sister Julie. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, Pope Benedict also, when he was as Pope, you were there also. And then, of course, Pope Francis. Pope Francis, we're already like forwarding, but Sister Amavel, you have experiences with Pope Francis, right?
Yes, sister. I have like closest personal encounter with him in 2022. Shall I share now, sister?
Yeah.
Mamaya pa.
Sige na, tuloy-tuloy na natin.
Okay po. Sige. So, with Pope Francis po, ang pinakauna kong encounter, kasi when, I think it was in 2013 po, no? So, he was elected Pope, and I was a junior then. And I remember Sister Millet as our formator. She gave us different topics to discuss among ourselves, and I was given the task to research more on the life of Jose Bergoglio.
Shout out to Sister Millet.
So, one thing that instantly connect me with Pope Francis was that, kasi alam natin, di ba, in terms of sickness, a part of his lung, part ng lungs niya, parang was removed. And that was also the time that I was like, I was also diagnosed with a sickness. And then Pope Francis served as an inspiration for me to go on with my formation. It's not really a block. So, parang yun yung pinaka-first encounter ko po, no, when I had Pope Francis as parang someone to look at in terms of health, kasi I was still like recovering, trying to check whether I can or I cannot, no. So that's one thing. And then 2015, that was the time that he came for the first time in the Philippines po after the Typhoon Yolanda. At the peak, I cannot remember, to 2015 po, no. It was like a far encounter with him kasi it was like too crowded, no. But we were there. I remember that time, and all the ACI sisters and many people from even provinces, no. Talagang the grounds was full. And then yung 2018 po, during my tertianship, several times also, because we have to go out and attend masses in Vatican, and there was also a time that the canonizations of many popes, I think that there was a moment that many saints was canonized, and still far. Pero ito po yung nangyari sa akin in 2022 when I was sent to go for intensive formation for formators. We scheduled parang audience with Pope Francis. So, and usually po after the encounter, bumababa si Pope Francis not to meet, to have a personal contact with the people there in the Pope Hall, the 6th hall. And I do not know what happened, pero I supposed to join the formators, the 44 formators of different nationalities, but I guess it was the Spirit moving in another direction. So instead of joining them, waiting for the area where Pope Francis will pass by, I suddenly ran to the area where the children were. Kasi parang yun yung pinaka-first area na dadaanan ni Pope, and he would really stop to touch the children, to bless the parents, and whoever is there. So, I suddenly found myself, literally, I was there in the middle of two parents with cuddling with a baby. And then, ako din, so, when Pope Francis passed our area, I received his blessing because I was saying, also, I was introducing myself. Soy esclava. So maybe it was like a connection, but it was a very quick encounter po, no? But I received his blessing. But one thing I did more, parang nasobra pa, personality ko po kasi every time there is a special occasion, and I know that it's like a once in a lifetime encounter, I always carry with me my profession cross. I always have it in my pocket. So by the time that Pope Francis was just in front of me, I was holding my profession cross for blessing, and then nung paghawak niya po, when he held my hand, he had a contact also with my hand and then the profession cross. So parang for me, like, parang I have to stop for a while to savor the moment, no? Because like, I go, wow, Pope Francis, he blessed me and he blessed my profession, and the symbols for us is very significant po, no? So And then after that po, I went back to the group of the formators, but I did not anymore like try to go with the crowd because I had my moment, my personal encounter with Pope Francis. So I just stepped for a while and then it ended with a group picture with him. So yung parang pinaka-closest encounter ko po, but it really, iba po yung pakiramdam na nasa harap mo siya, as in, nasa harap mo siya, na ramdam mo na nakatingin siya sa'yo. I think it's like a projection of God, who God is. You know, when we are in front of God, you are the most special one, you are important. I felt it. So, and until na po, parang there's a special connection din. And I try to, mahirap i-follow yung way of life ni Pope Francis, pero yung pinaka-basic attitudes po as religious, I think, may grasya naman ng kaunti. So, yun po, parang from that encounter, and not only that personal encounter, we know Pope Francis, yung witness niya talaga very strong, especially living out the gospel values. You read his life, you see his way of action, his way of in many ways. So parang yun parang role sa akin din na as a parang representation of Christ for me, na I try to really live out. Mahirap pero laging tinatry to follow the way of Jesus as how I am seeing it with our Pope and many people.
Yeah.
So yun.
The same way with Sister Immaculada in 2014 during one of the yung papal audience, no, they were there, and then she invited the Pope, and then 3 years later in 2017 the Pope surprised them doon sa Korea, and then Pope Francis visited primarily to pray at the shrine of Santa Rafaela. He had a special devotion to Santa Rafaela. Siguro yung connection nila is the simplicity of life and then the humility. No? Kitang-kita dun sa kanyang, even yung pangalan niya, Saint Franciscus, na ginawa ko ng santo si Pope Francis. So yun yung connection nila ni Santa Rafaela. So he visited our generalate and then prayed to Santa Rafaela, asking for her intercession. And then another, I would like also to make some kwento about Santa Rafaela, siya mismo. Kasi si Benedict XV, yan, nagbasa ko kanina sa Foundation of a Building, yung ating libro. When she was already in her hidden life, no, in exile, almost nobody knew in that community that she was the foundress, of the institute. So she was just like one of the sisters there, unknown, hidden, parang ganon. And then they were received in private audience by Pope Benedict XV after the Mass, and then of course she was seated like there at the back. Tapos the Pope, who knew her, Pope Benedict knew her from yung mga beginnings pa ng institute. And then ang unang hinanap when he arrived, he said, is Mother Sacred Heart, referring to Santa Rafaela, is Mother Sacred Heart here? And then andun sa dulo ng walang gas, she said, come here. So and then she tried she knelt down and then tried to kiss the feet of the Pope, but the feet hid his feet. And then the Pope asked her to get up, and then he asked her to sit down beside him. So yan yung connection ni Santa Rafaela and Pope Benedict. Nung tinignan ko yung edad, halos magkaedad sila, 1850 si Santa Rafaela, na she was born 1850, and then 1854 naman si Pope Benedict. So halos magkaedad sila. So they had this special connection, and then may impact talaga si Mother Sacred Heart kasi naalala niya at siya kaagad yung unang hinanap niya dun sa private audience na nangyari dun sa community dun sa Roma. So yan. Sister Julie, are you here? Are you with us? Even
Yes,
madam?
I'm very much with you all. I'm so sorry. Only I cannot open my.
It's all right. It's all right.
We can hear your
Yes,
voice.
We can hear you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can put your photo.
Thank you.
But otherwise, it's all right. Your voice is very beautiful. Sister, would you like to share your...
Yeah, it's
Yeah, maybe you can send your photo or the profile pic or something. But what is more important is your sharing. Maybe you can share with us your vocation story.
Vision story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So I remember, though I was born in a Catholic family, because you all are aware, India is not a Catholic country. So we are minority in India, but my parents are very pious, and but I was born in a Catholic family, but my faith was not very strong. Like any other Catholic youngsters, I used to go for mass every Sunday, not only Sunday, but even every day I used to go for mass. It's not because I had a special devotion or I had a great faith, only because I was part of the choir member.
Mhm.
But I remember when I was in 12th standard, I had an opportunity to attend a charismatic retreat. So during that retreat, I had a real personal encounter with Jesus. So when I came to know the love of Jesus, I was really mad in love with Jesus. And that same time, there was a youth movement called Jesus Youth, like a Youth for Christ. There is a movement in India. It started in India. It's called Jesus Youth Movement. So they invited me for their activities. So I became part of Jesus Youth when I was in 12th standard. And there they really strengthened my faith, and I received a lot of formations, and then I came to know about the mission, and I got a lot of orientation about the mission. So I was really passionate with the mission. And though I had been doing some mission with the youth, then I felt that was not enough, and I wanted to do more. So I decided to take a lifelong commitment. So that was the time I came to know one of our sisters, a Japanese sister, Sister Veronica. Right now, she is no more with us. And Sister Veronica was my role model. She came to our parish and invited us for a vocation camp. So, but her way of being, it really touched me. And I was studying in a Carmelite school, but I did not feel much comfortable with the sisters. But when I saw Sister Veronica, I felt like she was so loving and caring, and the way she was, and I was really touched by the way. And that was the time I thought of maybe taking the lifelong commitment. And then I had a doubt which congregation, though since I was very active in the parish, I was a choir member and active in the parish, so many congregations, many sisters were behind me, joined in their congregation. But with the two reasons I took Handmaids, one of my reasons was that because of the Eucharist. The second one, our sisters in India working for the mentally challenged children. So that was the first time I came to know about their world. There are so many children with a deficiency, with a mentally challenged. So then I felt I wanted to do something. So with these two reasons, then I decided to join in our congregation Handmaids, to become the handmaid.
Mhm. Sister Julie, how old were you when you entered the congregation, our congregation?
Actually, that time when I came to know the congregation, came to know the sisters, after maybe 4 or 5 years, there was a long gap. I had been waiting for their response, and for some reason they were not contacting me. Then I thought maybe I did not have the vocation, or maybe they didn't want me to join them. So, but I was so many other congregations, they were inviting me, but I said no. If I am joining, I would join with the Handmaids. But waiting. Finally, I thought they were not inviting me. So then I decided to join another congregation. But that particular time, one of our sisters, she contacted me. So I felt that, God has a specific plan for each one of us. And God knew my heart. I wanted to be a handmaid. So that's the reason he made a way out. And that time it was, I had 20 years. That means when I came to know the congregation, came to know Jesus, it was almost 5 years. After that only I joined.
Yeah. I like what you said. Sister Julie here said she was madly in love with Jesus and she's passionate with the mission. So the connection between loving Jesus and overflowing into mission. So I like that. Yes. And what do you want to ask Sister Julie?
Break.
Yeah, right now.
Time check.
Yeah.
A time check na?
Yes.
Yeah.
Time check. It's already 1:40.
Ang oras hatod sa Indokal. Optin Lutein Capsule. Alagaan ang paningin sa tulong ng Optin. Kitang-kita ang kalusugan ng mata.
Plemex. Pag may ubo o hika, Plemex agad. Basta lagundi, Plemex.
Ginebra San Miguel. Gin is in. Gin to win. Gin's Tanalo sa One Ginebra Nation. Promo runs from March 15 to July 31, 2025 for DOH FDA CFRR permit number 0017 series of 2025. Drink responsibly. Artisan Joint Supplement. Bumabagal ang galaw dahil sa joint pain at arthritis. Mag-Artisan.
Plemex for kids. Mommies, agapan agad ang ubo at plemang nakabara. Pambatang lagundi. Plemex!
Sa Uno Plus, kalidad na maaasahan mo. Serbisyong swak sa imo. Liver Aid Silimarine Capsule. Ang good drinks at good food, perfect combo. Isama pa ang Liver Aid. It's liver lover, boys!
Naghahanap ka ng kabalikat sa asenso at taman ang urig mo asin mag-asenso ang negosyo. May Uno Plus na kalidad. Mag-Uno Plus, mag-Uno Plus. Asa sa imong mauod. Serbisyong totoo, produktong garantisado. Ang Uno Plus asin urig mo. Ang gabat na gusto. Uno Plus matabang sa imo. May Uno Plus na kalidad. Mag-Uno Plus, mag-Uno Plus. Asa sa imong mauod. Sa Uno Plus, kalidad na masasarigan mo. Serbisyong swak sa imo. Magbisita sana sa Uno Plus Facebook page.
Kung ikaw ay edad 50 pataas katulad ko, may mataas na ang risk ng panlalabo ng paningin. Mas challenging ang pang-araw-araw na gawain tulad ng pagbabasa, pagsusulat, at pagmamaneho. Ang Optin ay may lutein na maaari makatulong sa kalusugan ng mata, nilalabanan ang epekto ng glaucoma, macular degeneration at katarata. Kitang-kita ang kalusugan.
Mabibili ang Optin sa mga pangunahing butika nationwide. Mahalaga ang paalala, ang Optin ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Uy pre, si Rudy dito. Daling ko lang si Bunso sa health center. 3.5 months na kasi. Nakaschedule para sa third visit. Libre lang ito pre. Ngayon nga maliban dun sa pentavalent vaccine, OPV at PCV, tuturo ka na rin si baby ng IPV na dagdag proteksyon laban sa polio. Sabihan mo rin yung iba nating kumpare na pabakunahan na ang kanilang mga anak. Tandaan, wais pag kumpleto ang bakuna ni baby at ang wais ay laging ligtas. Paalala mula sa DOH Bicol Center for Health Development.
Figaro!
Birit na sana kaso parang may gumagasgas. Ganyan ang ubong may plemang mahirap ilabas. Mag-Plemex Forte Syrup. Gawa sa natural na lagundi. Tinutunaw ang plema. Pinipigil ang ubo. Ramdam ang hagod ng ginhawa. Sing your heart out. Basta lagundi, Plemex. Mabibili ang Plemex Forte Syrup 60ml at 120ml sa mga pangunahing butikan nationwide. Vitex Nagundo L is a generic name of Plemex Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Welcome back sa ating programang Usapang Bokasyon ACI. Ipagpapatuloy natin ang ating talakayan tungkol sa episode 37 na pinamagatang Sentire cum Ecclesia, the Handmaids and the Popes.
Sister Julie.
Sister Julie, when did you start having this false awareness of the existence of a Pope? And among all the popes, who is the most significant to you? And how did impact your vocation and faith, sister? Thank you. Sister Julie. Okay.
I think I felt the awareness of the existence of a Pope and the mission, and his mission in the church, as I have just explained when I was in 12th standard. before that, I was not much aware of his mission and all. But when I became close to God and my faith was very strong, and then I had the interest to know about the Pope and his mission and all. And that was a time there was another thing, another incident happened. Pope John Paul II visited in India, and I was so fortunate to be part of the choir. And then I was able to meet him personally, and I was able to kiss his ring. And that was really a time of like an encounter. I felt that I met God, because those time it was impossible to meet the Pope and all. And that was a time it really shook my the whole being. I felt the way how he was very passionate and very loving and so gentle, and I also felt like I also wanted to be like him, the way how he was. So that was the first impression about the Pope, and I was able to meet him. And among all the popes, I felt Pope Francis, no doubt about it, though other popes are also close to me, but Pope Francis is very, very special. The reason I felt that he was the first Pope, maybe abolish many structures, and he really began to think like Jesus was thinking, and he began to speak like Jesus, the way how Jesus spoke, and began to do the way Jesus himself did. And he went out of all the comfort zones, and then he went to the peripheries. Always he used to call, he was bringing all the aspects, all the marginalized, and that was that made him exceptional. And Pope Francis was called Pope of the poor and the common people. So that is what made me, so he's very special. There are so many incidents, and I was also lucky to see him twice. Once when I attended JPC meeting in Rome, and the second last year Pope visited Timor-Leste, and then I was also fortunate to be part of youth meet with the Pope. So then I was able to meet him so closely. So I think these are the beautiful moments. I really treasure those moments.
One of his last visits was in Timor-Leste.
Yes.
Yeah, you met him there?
Last September.
September of last year only?
Yes.
Did you have a close encounter with him in Timor-Leste?
Yes, because we had a youth meet together with him. So I was part of the team, organizing team. So because of that, I got just right in front. I got a seat right in front. I would have got an opportunity to kiss his ring, but the security, because all of them were, they didn't allow. But it was just next to me, So it was, but I could feel, the way how he was, even though he was so sick and so tired, but the way how he reached out to the people, and still the youth of Timor, they have a special place for him. So that is what, when Pope Francis passed away, it was we felt like he passed away here in Timor. I think the whole atmosphere was youth were all the places Pope went. They were going back, and they were kneeling down and putting the candles, praying, crying. So felt like, maybe it was more than, maybe little more than Rome, So they have a special place for Pope Francis.
Yeah. Thank you. For the handmaids, for us, what does Sentire cum Ecclesia mean to think and feel with the church in connection with the Pope?
I think Handmaids, I think Pope Francis again, that the first, the synodality. So he brought out the synodality the first time, to think, to work and to walk with the church, and that concept it's a beautiful concept, and he really began that process. And then I think the Handmaids, they have a close connection with all the popes, but especially I think with the Pope Francis, he has a special devotion to our foundress, Saint Raphaela Mary. And with that, I felt a bit, all of us, all the Handmaids, were very, very happy with the concept of this synodality.
Thank you. Mr. AMAVEL?
Okay po. Siguro sister, we can understand better if we consider our Ignatian root. Kasi parang I'm trying to, I tried to read a little again about the Ignatian, about Ignatius and then Rafaela and our way of life. So parang ang daming parallelism actually in terms of history and foundation. So everybody knows that before the conversion of Ignatius, he was a worldly man, but still he has a high esteem with the church, even the tradition. And I think it was Father Mon, I think in his book, he said even the father of Ignatius would think highly of priesthood for Ignatius. So that was prior to his conversion. And then, but during his pilgrim years, we have noted that that Ignatius would often visit churches, and then would always seek spiritual assistance and guidance to the clergy, to the religious during his time. And that's why, as we have known up to this moment, Jesuits are known for their fourth vow, obedience to the Pope. And if we are going to remember also our foundation, almost the same attitude of Rafaela. We know Rafaela and Mother Pilar, that was like a long-held desire in their heart to have a foundation in Rome, really in Vatican. And our history would recall many instances how Rafaela would really pray for that, even ask for immediate response, para she not be able to kiss the ground and enter in Vatican. That's because for Rafaela and Mother Pilar to have foundation in Rome, it will give us a universal character, and to have a protector. So we have this part of our history that we are being like the Bishop of Madrid wants to change our constitution and all those things. So like for Rafaela to be near with our Pope, to protect us, or even the cardinal protector who can guide us, the possibility of abusing the constitution or change will be lessened. So that was like the of Rafaela. And then many details, sisters, when Rafaela arrived in Rome. So but it's to boil down, it's really for Rafaela to have a universal heart, because they believe that to love the church is to love Jesus is to love the church. And almost the same spirituality of Ignatius also. For Ignatius also, to love Jesus is to be in communion with the church. So parang, and now we as handmaids of the present generation, I think we can feel the same energy within us, that to really be present in with the church, in church in different ways, not only the building, but really with the people, to be close to the people, to be close where we are in a particular moment.
Yeah. When you mentioned Saint Ignatius, bigla ko naalala mo rin siguro kasi magkabatch ni Sister Jesie. Hindi na to ganun ka-clear pero isang concept ni Sister Tere na naalala ko na she differentiated, Dark Ages ba yun? Hindi ko alam. Basta yung mga ganung panahon na the church was like, yun, parang madaming mga nangyayaring hindi magaganda sa simbahan, and then of course yun yung protest, kaya may Protestantism, yung mga ganun na period, and then yung manner ng Protestant is like, alis na kami kasi hindi namin nagustuhan, marami kami hindi nagustuhan sa simbahan. So parang isang katawan na pinutol mo yung kamay mo kasi ayaw mo na, kasi hindi maganda, parang ganun. But the way of Saint Ignatius was to repair within from the church. This is my body, I'm gonna repair it from within, parang ganun. Kaya this one was born as spiritual exercises na nagkaroon ng revolution, ng reformation, ng paradigm shift sa mga puso ng mga tao by not cutting himself from the church, but repairing it from within. Kasi this is our body, this is our one body of Christ, the church. So if kung may problem, kasi sinners and saints, we are not all saints, we are all called to holiness, but we are also very much aware, no, that we are sinful, and then but to repair from within. Tayo, hindi natin puputulin ang sarili natin sa simbahan. Tayo ang simbahan. Yung so the healing will be there, right there within. Kaya I think the spiritual exercises is very much part of that healing process up until now. Yan. Yes.
Okay, so what are the hopes and prayers for Pope Leo XIV? Do you see God's providence in his election at this moment in history?
Jesie. Leo. Sister Julie, would you like to? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I hope, and my prayers that what Pope Francis began, and I hope that Pope Leo XIV may continue, because he calls himself as a missionary, and also when his talk, many times it came out like, he said transitional pope, means transitional is in continuity with what Pope Francis began, and I believe that there is a reason also, because when he selected the name Leo XIV, that is, all of us know that because Pope Leo XIII, he had written an encyclical called Rerum Novarum, and that is specifically speaking about the rights of the workers and the poor people and social justice. And because of that reason, he has selected that particular name. So, which means that he will continue with all that what he stood for. And I believe that if Pope Francis also called like a Pope of the poor, and Pope Leo XIV will be also called like a Pope of the poor and the workers. Let us hope, and my prayers that he may continue the work which Pope Francis began. He mentioned one of his talks, he wants to be the voice of the voiceless, and also the voice of the poor people. So many times he kept on repeating this, which means that he will be continuing what Pope Francis began. So pray that he may continue the good work which Pope Francis began. And I also see God's providence while his election, because all of us know that last all the Pope, there was no one came from America. This was the first time. Maybe another reason that he is by birth he is from America, but he in his last 20 years he had been a missionary in Peru, South America. So he knows what really means to be a missionary, and he himself calls like as a missionary. So and he was not a candidate, but how that first two election and he was nowhere in the picture. But the third time, that how he came into a picture, it is pure the work of the Holy Spirit, and God really intervened, and that's the reason that he became the Pope. So really happy about it.
AMAVEL.
Yes, sir. Nakalimutan ko si sir. We remember Pope Leo XIII was the one who admitted our foundation in Rome. That was the time. And the same name that Pope Leo XIV is.
Yes.
Pope Leo XIII. Okay po. Yes, sister. Sister is very hopeful for Pope Leo XIV. He will not be a copy, a duplicate of Pope Francis, and I have a very positive feeling that he will really leave his own mark in the church, in the history of the church. And I don't know him yet, but trying to read some available resources and even yung mga, he's also in tweets now, sister. So nagpo-post siya ng mga tweets and very simple words, and I think everybody can relate to. And for now, we give him really the space also to lead us as our new Pope. And I remember during the conclave, sister, we were very present, not in Rome, but here in Novitiate community. We really waited for the white smoke, the day 1, the 4:30, and then the following day, the 3 rounds of votation. But unfortunately, during the last hour, we were all asleep. 12:30. Hindi namin kinaya, but in the middle of the morning, we checked, and personally, I was in tears when Pope Leo went out, and then the camera was focused on his face. Ramdam mo, sister, yung makita niya yung vascular, no, na parang namatay talaga siya sa sarili niya, no. He really died to himself just to accept God's plan for him, through God's plan to the church through his shepherding. So yun po. And I think for now, I am very hopeful, sister, that Pope Leo will be a good Pope for everybody, a good father. Sure.
Okay, ang bilis ng oras. Pero bago tayo magtatapos, what's your parting message for our young people, especially those searching for their vocation in life? Parting message, because we are almost finished our program. A short parting message.
Short parting message.
Start? Sister Judy, go ahead and start. Sa akin po, only 4 words. It can be reduced into 2 words, and most of the popes often use this one, no? Do not be afraid, in different contexts. Especially for the young people, do not be afraid to start all over again. Do not be afraid to make dreams. Do not be afraid to love. Do not be afraid to forgive. Do not be afraid to risk. Do not be afraid to be changed. So, kayo na pong bahala mag-continue. Basta that word that Jesus has spoken also many times to the disciples, the same hope po yung binibigay sa atin here and now, present. So, do not be afraid.
Thank you. Sister Julie?
For me also the same word, like, do not be afraid, because I felt that the Bible passage, even Isaiah 43 says that you do not be afraid. So that it really give a lot of consolation. And today's youth, they don't have the courage enough to take some decision. Many of them, they find it very difficult. So I would like to tell all the youth, so don't be afraid. And when God has chosen you, and He will give the courage, and just to believe in Him and believe in His power, believe in His plan.
Okay. Salamat sa lahat na sharing natin ngayon. It has been enriching. Salamat sa inyo. Salamat sa ating mga bisita, Sister Julie Anthony, ACI, at Sister AMAVEL ORTINERO, ACI. At ang inyong mga lingkod, Sister Jesie, Sister Nette, Sister Marta. Salamat po. Hanggang sa muli. See you next Friday.